Hi, love. It's me, your femboy. And today I am going to share with you something that I haven't really noticed anybody talking about, that being femboys. Of course, I enjoy them a lot. I am one, so of course I would. That being said, I really like to make myself in video games, especially if it's my first time. I will usually make myself or some variation of myself. And it's annoying that even though I am a femboy, I usually have to pick the female option. There are games, however, that are super neat and actually let you make femboys in it, or at least is the closest thing without actually calling them straight up femboys. So in this video, I want to kind of share 4 of the video games that I have personally found and played to some extent that applies to the following criteria. Number 1, it needs to be a female character model, but with somehow an option of applying male pronouns. That's the tricky part. You could technically just make a female character, but without male pronouns, it's just a girl. And then number 2, that's it. Like, literally, that's kind of the gist of it. You could almost say that this is a bit closer to how to make a trap in a game, but femboys and traps are very similar, and so I feel like this applies, especially as I wanted to know which games I can make myself in, and since I'm a very, very effeminate femboy, I figure if you can have a female character model have male pronouns, that's it. That's what qualifies. And that's what makes this really difficult and tricky. And so I'm sure there are way more games out there that I just have not played or maybe have heard of that fit this criteria. But I've only played these couple games and can confirm that they have that criteria, being it needs to be a female character model with the option to have male pronouns. So I don't want to dilly-dally too much longer. Let's get into we're going to go in the order of, I would say, the least good way to do it. We'll start with sort of what I would think is the weakest option to make a femboy, and then go up and up until number 1, which is absolutely the best. So, well, of course, that's how numbers work. Okay, so number 4 is Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Specifically, though, with the femboy race mod. Here's the thing, this works actually very well for making femboys, as it's literally adds an entire race that is just a femboy. Like, the character looks super effeminate, even changes the armors that the character wears to look effeminate with a sort of small flat chest and female characteristics. However, the caveat is that it is a mod, and I did not want to include mods because I felt like that'd be a slippery slope. But this was one I've used myself before, and I feel like it works very, very well. That being said, if you have your own race mod and you don't want to use the femboy race mod, I also have you covered, because there's a mod just called Pronouns. And it's essentially an SKSE plugin that lets it so you can just select whichever pronouns you want. So literally you don't even need to use a femboy race mod if you don't want to. And that is amazing. Now, there is a not safe for work version on LL, if you know what that, well, if you mod Skyrim at all, you probably know what LL is. And obviously I can't show it, but I would say that's probably the definitive edition. So if you really want to have some femboys in Tamriel, I would recommend it. Number 3 is Borderlands Tiny Tina's Wonderland. This one is a little different because I have never played any Borderlands games, but my bestest friend ever, well, Dorky, he's been on the channel before, so you probably know who he is. He totally recommended it, and actually he gave me the footage for this and the next clips I'm going to be showing. Not The Sims though, but yeah. Borderlands I think really applies super well because I didn't know even that the game had a character creator, but you can choose a feminine body type and can have male pronouns. That's exactly the prerequisite. It totally works, and I'm super happy he told me about it because honestly, I know nothing about Borderlands. So, but it's wonderful that you could technically make a femboy in it if you want to. And plus, I like the art style, so there's that. Number 2 is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this one is also very good because you can technically choose male pronouns on a female body, which is exactly the prerequisite. It's the requirement. It totally fulfills it. The only problem I would say is your femboy has to have a very deep voice, as there's only 2 like voice options, and the male voice, in order to get male pronouns, is very, very deep. And I wish that the pronouns weren't linked to the voice, because then you could just have the female voice on a character with male pronouns, and that would be absolutely perfect. But there's always like the possibility of a mod for it down the line. And like, surprisingly, Cyberpunk has some pretty darn good mods. And I'm sure the longer that the game's out, and especially now that's reputation is like a bajillion times better, I'm sure that there's going to be a, like, that mod has to come at some point. Like, it's gotta, like, please. Number 1 is in kind of just one of the best character creators in general, which is The Sims 4. Now this is absolutely the definitive, like, the fucking best character creator to make a femboy, because it has everything the other mods there's only one other mod. It has everything that all the other games have. You can make a female character, but in this case, not only can you have them have male pronouns, but you can choose their voice type, their pitch, their walk cycle. You can choose whether they could wear male clothing, but you have to have a female body shape. They could have makeup, and literally it's perfect. Like, right now, I don't think there's a better character creator out there to make femboys. It's why the first, like, game I played on my channel that I made a femboy in was The Sims. And definitely, like, even when I'm just playing by myself, if I want to make a femboy character, like, The Sims is the absolute bestest. Like, literally the only downside, and unfortunately, I don't have the footage here, but for some weird reason, you can't have fingernail polish on these femboy Sims. And that sucks, because I love painting my nails. Like, you can paint the toes, though, which is weird. Which I guess feet fetishes are more important than hand fetishes, so it makes sense the toesies should look pretty. So even though there is a Yoshikage Kira mod, I don't think that sort of mentality is really in the Sims' like minds right now. So maybe someday they'll fix that. I really hope so. But either way, The Sims 4 is, in my opinion, the best game to make a femboy. And so that's it. Thank you so much for giving it a little looky. I know that there are a lot of fans of femboys out there, and even if you're not a femboy yourself, maybe you would just like to make one in a game. And so here are 4 options, and of course all of the ones I've given are very big AAA games. There are definitely some small indie games I know that probably could do this as well, and that's why I would like to make a part 2 at some point. I just need your help if you don't mind. If you know a game that fulfills that prerequisite of it needs to be a female character, but you can put male pronouns on them, if they fulfill that, then I will absolutely add it to the next video. So I really hope you enjoy. And also, I'm sorry I sound a little bit more, I guess, like tired, like not as super duper energetic as I usually am. It is almost 3 in the morning here, and I have a very long day tomorrow, and I had a long day today. So, and it's also one of the reasons why my silly little mug isn't on camera, but I hope you don't mind my dumb voice instead. So, I love you. I love you, and I want to rub you too. Okay.